Welcome back to CutNoCorners. I'm Corbin.
I'm Joe.
And this is going to be our very first game review for our channel. And what are we reviewing, Joe?
A Way Out. We figured we might as well do a review of it since we just finished the playthrough.
It was our first playthrough. It's only appropriate. And seeing as how, we played it cooperatively and we're a cooperative channel, or we're trying to be anyways, we figured it might as well let the public know our thoughts, how it played, the replayability, how fun it is for two people to just hang out and sit down and enjoy this story.
Yeah. So we're going to rank the game on 6 categories. We're going to do graphics, gameplay, story, replayability, fun, and overall. Ran through those really quick. But we'll just start at the top. We'll start with graphics. So my opinion, it's not a AAA title. It's made by a studio called Hazelight Studios. But it still has pretty good graphics. I'd say it's on par. It was made 2 years ago in 2018, so maybe it's not the cutting edge, but...
It definitely... when you think about... When the game came out, brand new, it was $30. And nowadays you can get it for much, much, much less. And it's... visually, like you said, it's a third-party game. So they didn't have the budget that like Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed has. But if you look at it when it's not moving, like just a still, the graphics are just fine. Like, it's got the detail in the skin, the character models, the background, it's all there. It's only when like certain things are in motion, like water or maybe certain character animations, that it looks a little bit janky, and I don't know, it's totally passable. Like, you're never gonna say, wow, this game looks like garbage in the middle of playing it. That pretty much sums it up for the graphics. Now on to the gameplay. What are your thoughts, Joe?
The gameplay's fun. It's an interesting mechanic, right? It's a co-op game. It's all in for co-op. Have to have a friend to play it. Exactly. Have to have a friend to play it. You can't play it by yourself. You can do couch co-op. You could, if you're really lonely, you can turn on 2 controllers, play both characters.
If you're a sad, sad person, no friends.
If you are, leave a comment. We'll come play with you.
Yeah. But what's cool is, because it's co-op only, what the creators did was they gave anybody who purchased the game a single key that they can gift to anybody on their friends list, where they can play the game, download it for free to play. And that's exactly how Joe and I played. I got it, Joe got it for free, and he was able to play the entire story. And we can play as many times as we like, just him and me. He never had to spend a penny, which is very, like, an interesting way, like, for them to actually go about this, because it's technically cutting their profits down, but it's maximizing the amount that the players can have fun.
Yeah. So the downside for me, as the person who didn't actually purchase the game, I can't get trophies for it, and I can't play it by myself. So I can't invite anyone else to play.
But you also didn't spend a penny, so.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's if you're a trophy hunter, it'll be a downside to you, but to me, I'm not. So it wasn't to me.
I'm a trophy hunter.
Yeah. If you have a buddy who wants to play with you, you guys can split it. And spend, I don't know, it's probably like $10 right now. $5 each and play the game. Only one of you will get trophies, but
It's a good time. And the gameplay is, like, there's a lot of mechanics throughout the game. If you watched our playthrough, which is on the channel, by the way, if you haven't watched it, go ahead and check it out.
Plug.
There's things like where to climb like a corridor that's really high and there's no ladder or any footholds or anything or handholds, you leverage against each other's body weight and you have to balance against each other, and the two of us
work together.
Exactly. And like, if one of us goes too fast or too slow, it throws off the rhythm and you might fall and die. So you really have to like be cooperative with your partner.
Yeah, and it's not, so it's very fun. Those type of mechanics are very fun. You can tell there's some mechanics that is, again, not a AAA title, are not as fleshed out. I'm going to specifically state the sniper rifles are a little strange. When you shoot a person, it's like they got hit by a Mack truck and they fly across the screen. That was a little weird, but
And having played many, many first-person shooters, I do have to complain that the controls for the shooting mechanics are not sharp at all. It's as if you're dead zone. You have to move the stick about 50% of the way through its threshold before you even begin to move your cursor. So that is not really conducive con-
yeah.
to good first-person or third-person shooter.
Yeah, those mechanics are not all that detrimental to the game because you are not actually in a gunfight until closer to the end. There's
Spoilers.
maybe an hour of gunplay.
Yeah, as far as how often you'll be shooting, well, I mean, there's things like where one of us is riding shotgun in a car or in the back of a truck and firing. You're maybe shooting, I want to say, 5% of this game, maybe 10% of this game. So it's not like a big detriment.
Yeah, it's not a huge drawback. The big things are you sneak a lot because you're getting out of prison, and
Oh, wait, yeah.
then
Hey, spoilers.
and then you have a lot of co-op mechanics, rowing a boat, climbing up
Yep.
a
Mm-hmm.
shaft, handing sheets to somebody.
Working together to steer things or operate things. It's very fun. Very, very, like, you bond or start to hate whoever you're playing with. But yeah, very excellent co-op gameplay. So, next category, the story. What do you think?
I think it has a very interesting story. It's captivating. You play as Leo and Vincent, two guys who meet in prison, and then you hatch a plan, Leo's plan, to break out of prison. And I'm not going to go any further than that in the story, but there are multiple endings to it.
Yeah, we're assuming if you're watching this, you haven't played or haven't seen our playthrough yet, so you don't know the story. So to keep this spoiler free as much as possible, we're gonna have to basically just tell you that it can get very emotional. Like
Yes.
for a game that's about a couple of guys breaking out of prison in the 70s, think of like I don't know. There were times where you do get reminded of things like Shawshank Redemption, where you get to know these characters and their motivations, and the longer the story goes on, you get more attached to them.
And
And
the fact that you're likely playing with somebody that you do like. So,
right, and yeah, whoever your actual co-op partner is, and their decisions get reflected in your game's character as to what the real person would try to like decide in that situation in real life. That gets translated through their gameplay.
yeah, there's decisions where you have one mechanic to have is where you can choose either Leo's way or Vincent's way. They're
And it
drastically
affects
different.
things story wise
Yes.
because
So,
it'll completely change up what you're going to do next.
the story
So,
was really
right.
good. It was really captivating. It really hangs on at the end. You can't stop.
Story wise, yes. If you are getting towards the end, buckle in because you're going to be there for the next hour and you're not going to want to click quit. You're just going to want to ride it out once you get to the finale.
And the game's only around 6 hours, so it's not like you're gonna have to
Depending on how
find.
much you play around.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nice little extra side stuff you can do that's beyond the story, like fun activities, like I don't want
Connect
to give away
Four.
too much. Yeah, there's certain things I don't want to give away story related stuff, but there's a whole lot of
What else?
side things.
Pull-ups.
Well, that's one you can do right away. As far as replayability, what are your thoughts?
So as I mentioned in the story, there are multiple endings. I think it's only two. I think there's only two endings. So you definitely have two replays. And if you're playing with a buddy, there's definitely replayability in the fact that you get to play as the other character. So you have to choose one character at the beginning, and then you play through the story as that one, as Leo or Vincent, and then swap with your buddy and play as Leo or Vincent. Again, there's replayability in that factor, and the game is good. So
This
I
for
think
me
it has replayability.
for this me personally, I'm gonna have to zonk it just because I, like you said, 2 times. That's probably about all the
Yeah.
amount of times you need to play this game is 2. So if you're looking for a game that you can spend 100 hours on with your co-op partner, this isn't it. You're just gonna spend probably between 10 and 14 hours um, playing
Yeah.
this. I mean, you're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
get your
not.
money's worth, and you're gonna have a hell of a time. But as far as replayability goes, it's not like one you can do for
Yeah.
multiple times. It's just like 2.
Yeah, once you've seen the ending, I'd say even replaying it immediately is probably not. This is one where you like play it and then like a year later you're like, "Hey, you want to play that game again but we'll switch characters?" And then you've
Yeah,
forgotten the story and you're
that's
like,
why you get 2
"Ah."
playthroughs because you can play as both characters and swap and see the different perspectives.
But even I wouldn't play it immediately again. It was not like
Right.
finish it, restart it cuz you saw the whole story.
It's very cinematic. Like you wouldn't immediately play the same movie you just finished watching like the next like
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah, and
It's not
replayability
arcadey like that.
there's no it is not a ton of things that will affect the end of the story.
Yeah,
Like
the end
it's
is
a
still
game, it's
gonna.
on rails, it's cinematic. You do stuff and it goes to the next thing. It's not like it's not a spider web, you don't or a butterfly. It's not the butterfly effect. You're
Right.
not going
I
to do
mean,
something and change the way that the game ends.
it does have the 2 major different endings. So it's got a little bit of that heavy rain, Detroit become human, you know, choose your own path type of thing, but in a
Very small.
very like he said, in a very linear way. Um, so fifth category, fun factor.
I mean, I had fun with the game. We've played it twice now. We've each played as each character. Um, I had a lot of fun. It was enjoyable for me. The wonkiness of the gameplay, it doesn't even take it down. It actually is a little more fun when you're sniping somebody and they fly across the screen.
Right. For me personally, the fun factor, it it's almost entirely in the hands of who you happen to choose to play with. Like you and I had a blast playing this, but that's because we're friends, we know each other, and like we were able to, riff off of the things that were happening, and it just escalated the fun factor even higher than what the game creators were planning on. Like if I were to play it with a total stranger, I wouldn't have had nearly as much fun. Like whoever, like if you play with your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever, just good friend, as long as you play with somebody close to you that you know well, you're gonna have a lot of fun. Because
Yeah.
it's like a bonding experience almost.
Yeah, it's not going to be like Journey where you can just pick it up with some random person and have a ton of fun. You're going to want to know the person you're playing with because
Yeah,
the
that was a great
hilarity
game too.
comes from the hilarity comes from you guys playing together and knowing each other.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, final factor. Overall, what are your overall rankings and whatnot? Like
So
your overall.
overall, I think the game is good. Um, it's not the greatest game I've ever played. I don't think anybody is debating that fact. It's very good. It's very good for the price. It's definitely worth the money. If I had to rank it on a scale of 1 to 5, I definitely give it 3 chisels out of 5.
You know what? I'm gonna give it 3.8. No, yeah, 3.8 files out of 5 files. Because I had a lot of fun. The bang for your dollar was immense. I mean, I bought it new back in the day, $30. So I mean, even if we split that $15 a person, and we had a blast playing it, and we have done it twice at this point by the time this review has come out. So it was like 10, 12 hours of fun for $15 a person. That's a hell of a lot of bang for your dollar. And a lot of fun. It's a close to a 4 out of 5 for me.
I didn't know we were giving halves. I'm going to go up to 3.5. Or
Okay.
decimal points. Yeah, it was between a 3 and a 4 for me, but I was going with whole numbers. So we can go with a 3.5. So overall, that averages out to like a 3.65 out of 4. 3.65 out of 5 chisels.
Files. You'll understand if you watch our playthrough.
Yeah, watch our playthrough. If you're interested in the game, watch our playthrough. If you're interested in any PS5 content, we also have that. Thanks for listening to our review. We hope you enjoy A Way Out if you decide to get it. It's a good game, good value.
I'd buy it again. So yeah, remember to smash that like button.
Leave a comment if you have any other games you want us to review as well.
Just smash it.
And always, smash the like button.
Yeah, this has been Cut No Corners. I am Corbin.
And I'm Joe. And we'll talk to you in the next one.
Bye.